net.com. Let's see. This climate bill, I just got something and I can't look at it till the next commercial break. But what I'm told here that, there was a test vote this morning, and the House Democrats narrowly won an important test vote today on groundbreaking legislation to combat global warming. The thing, this is so unnecessary. There isn't any global warming. This bill is not about climate change. It's not about improving the environment. It's not about anything but raising taxes and taking away people's freedom. Folks, we are made of carbon. And what this is a carbon tax. Anything, we are, theoretically, we could be taxed because of the carbon dioxide we exhale. If they want to figure out how much that is contributing to global warming, we could be taxed on that basis. There's no limit here. Once you start taxing carbon, we are made of carbon. We are a carbon-based life form. What this legislation seeks to establish is that we, by virtue of our existence, are destructive polluters who have to be punished. We are polluters whether we want to be or not. It's just because we're carbon. It's just, it is absurd. In all kinds of countries, they're learning that this doesn't work. Spain, it didn't work. Australia, it didn't work. Kimberly Strassel has a great piece of the Wall Street Journal, which I'm going to cite here in just a moment. This test vote today was 217 to 205 to send Obama and his legislation over to the full House. 30 Democrats defected. Do you know that there was a tax for cow farts in this bill? Now, Rachel, you watched Gore's stupid movie and you bought it. I'm telling you, there was a tax on bovine flatulation. And this upset a bunch of Democrat congressmen in agricultural states. So they went in there and they removed the tax on cow farts to get the votes of these. This is how ridiculous it is. There are Republicans on the fence on this. There ought to be no Republicans on the fence on this. This is one of those things. This is another one of these premises where we say, no, you won't. We don't debate it. We don't say, okay, we're going to do global warming legislation. Fine. Well, here's our idea. Our idea on global warming legislation is that there isn't any global warming. Sunspot activity is way, way down. I've got a NASA website series of photos to show you from 2000 to 2009 how the sun's activity has slowed down. It is cooling off all over the planet. There is no global warming. Temperatures have not risen in the last 9 years in an appreciable way, and this legislation is not going to lower temperatures. It's not going to do anything they claim it's going to do. Nobody is going to have fully read this. There are over 1,000 mandates, meaning limits on freedom, over 1,300 pages. Even the chairman of the committee, Henry Nostrilitis Waxman, admits he doesn't know what all's in it. It doesn't matter to him what all is in it. Now, yesterday, I think that I heard there was something like 17 or 20,000 calls to Congress opposing this. It's going to take a lot more than that to stop this. It looks like yesterday it looked like this thing is going to go down to defeat, but at like 3 or 4 o'clock this morning, they offered a 300-page amendment that nobody's read, but they told the farmers, the Democrats from farm states, agriculture states, yeah, we're going to take care of you. We're going to take out some of these punitive things to get their votes. This is signature legislation, and it would be very embarrassing if this goes down to defeat. They're going to have a tougher time in the Senate with it, but it'd be best to shut it down in the House of Representatives today, and that's the vote. And I'm told we're going to need 6 to 7 votes, it looks like, whereas a couple days ago it seemed to be a slam dunk. So 6 to 7 votes on the either Republican or Democrat side to stop this. Let me tell you something else that's happened. And I read about this in a lot of different places today. What I have here is a piece from the Competitive Enterprise Institute which summarizes it pretty well. They are making public an internal study on climate science which was suppressed by the EPA and Lisa Jackson. Internal EPA email messages released by the Competitive Enterprise Institute earlier in the week indicate that the report was kept under wraps and its author silenced because of pressure to support the administration's agenda of regulating carbon dioxide. What this report was, and I can't, what's this guy's name? What is this guy's name? Anyway, there's a defector. There's somebody in the EPA who put together a report. Wait a minute, temperatures are not rising. We can't prove that carbon dioxide's a pollutant. He cited evidence from around the country. He cited scientific data. By the way, the consensus on climate science that you've always heard about on global warming, it has fallen apart. It's fallen apart. Scientists from Australia and 2 or 3 other countries have now defected from the so-called consensus. And that's what this guy's report was about. And they told him to shut up. They suppressed his report. And they said, don't you dare talk about it. And they fired him. Then they said, don't you dare talk to anybody about this. The point is, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Obama administration, they don't care about the truth in any of this. This is not about global warming. It is not about climate change. It's about nothing but taxes. It's taxing everything they can get their hands on. It's revenue generation. Obama yesterday even had the gall to call this a jobs bill. Well, I'll tell you what green jobs did to Spain. George Will wrote about it yesterday. The stimulus bill was supposed to be a jobs bill, and it didn't turn out to be a jobs bill, and this is not a jobs bill. This is a jobs-killing bill. Now, I know this is a tough sell, because people listening to me talking about this say, why would our government come up and do so? Folks, I know it's hard to understand that we've elected somebody who is willingly, purposely setting out to deplete the capital in the private sector, to destroy the U.S. economy. I know it's hard to understand. Most of us, I'll include myself in this, most of us do not have this concept of that kind of power, of wanting to use it for our own personal fun, frolic, frivolity, whatever. We can't imagine that we have elected somebody who really doesn't like the United States as it was founded. We just can't, but that's what's happened. This is exactly what we've done here. There was a great piece, and I had it in the stack yesterday, and I thought, this is a little too esoteric to get into. And I may try to find it and do it again today. It is a piece in the AmericanThinker.com by a woman from Nigeria, who says Barack Obama is no different than any African colonial, meaning he's a despot, an African the British went in and colonialized all of Africa. By the way, her piece tells us why. She doesn't say this, but if you have a basic knowledge, this piece will instruct you why Obama so often disses the UK. They went in there, they colonialized Africa, and they set up despotic leaders, and they end up being Marxists, Mugabe and these kind of guys. And this woman from Nigeria thinks that's exactly what we have here, an African colonial type president who views this country in ways unlike most Americans view this country, in ways unlike most Democrats view the country. And when I read the piece yesterday, so I put it together with this, what he's trying to do with health care and what he's trying to do with his cap and trade, climate science, all this rot gut. What she says has a lot of credence. I'll find it. I'll share it with you as the program unfolds before your very eyes today. Kimberly Strassel, op-ed Wall Street Journal, focuses